A small blue light drifts through the darkness. Down here, the sunlight has been gone for hours. The water is freezing. The pressure could crush a submarine if it's built incorrectly. And yet, something is waiting. The glow twitches gently, like a wounded shrimp. A hungry fish notices it and moves closer. The light dances again. Closer, closer. Then the darkness opens its mouth. Rows of needle-like teeth snap shut. The fish disappears. The light was never food. It was bait. And the creature holding it may be one of the strangest animals evolution has ever produced, the deep-sea anglerfish. What makes anglerfish so bizarre is that every answer about its mysteries leads to something even stranger. The females can grow dozens of times larger than the males. The males spend their lives searching for a mate, and when they finally find one, they bite her body and slowly fuse into her flesh. Their organs disappear. Their eyes vanish. Eventually, they become little more than living appendages attached to a much larger host. And in a mouth capable of swallowing prey larger than the fish itself, skin so dark it absorbs nearly all light, and a life spent drifting through one of the harshest environments on Earth. And the anglerfish starts to feel less like a fish and more like something from another planet. The deeper scientists look, the stranger it becomes. Scientists have discovered more than 200 types of anglerfish around the world, and over 100 of them belong to a mysterious deep-sea group called Cerashioidea. These species are anything but ordinary. Every species looks different, with new ones being found all the time. Despite their strange and varied appearances, all anglerfish are part of the same superfamily, Cerashioidea. They can be found in oceans across the globe, thriving in some of the harshest environments imaginable. But it's their bizarre traits that make them truly famous. Deep-sea anglerfish possess a unique fishing rod called the icilium, which extends from their heads and ends in a glowing, fleshy bulb known as the esca. What's surprising is that the glow comes from a colony of bioluminescent bacteria housed within the esca. These bacteria create light through a chemical reaction involving luciferase and luciferin. It's a relationship of give and take. The bacteria provide light, and in return, they get a safe home along with oxygen and nutrients from the anglerfish. Food is rare in the deep sea, so these species use ambush tactics. Their skin is ultra-black, absorbing almost all light. This makes them nearly invisible in the dark waters. Only the glowing esca stands out. It moves like a living creature, attracting prey closer. The lure might also help females find their tiny, non-glowing male partners. Yes, you heard that right. The male partners are smaller, like really small. While females can grow up to 4 feet long, the males only reach about 0.4 to 1.2 inches. Just imagine this difference between two partners. Anyways, these tiny males live unusual lives, completely unlike anything we'd expect. They are born without a lure, without a proper digestive system, and with just one purpose, to find a female. It's a race against time in the dark, deep ocean. Using their heightened sense of smell and large eyes, they track the faint chemical signals and glowing light of the female. No food, no rest, just this desperate hunt for their one shot at survival. But what happens when they find her? It's stranger than fiction. The male bites onto her side. He releases an enzyme that melts the skin of their bodies where they touch. Gradually, they fuse together, becoming one organism. The male gives up everything: his eyes, his fins, even most of his organs, except for his testes. From that point on, he survives entirely off her blood, like he's plugged into a living life support system. This way, she can have multiple males attached to her at once, all acting as tiny, permanent sperm supplies. The anglerfish's mouth is so large it stretches around the entire head, and both jaws are lined with sharp, inward-tilting teeth. These teeth have a terrifying design. They bend inward, allowing prey to slide easily toward the stomach while preventing any chance of escape. To make things even creepier, they possess an expandable stomach and thin, flexible bones. This remarkable adaptation enables it to swallow prey twice its own size, stretching its jaws and body like a living vacuum. There are many reasons why the anglerfish has such a large mouth. It isn't a fast swimmer, so it uses a sit-and-wait strategy to save energy. When a fish or squid gets too close, the anglerfish strikes. It opens its huge mouth and sucks in water and the prey in a split second. Once inside, the sharp inward-tilting teeth trap the meal with no escape. The anglerfish doesn't chase its food. Instead, it lures it straight into its powerful jaws. Yes, they're called anglerfish, but unlike most fish, they have no swim bladder. Swim bladders act like balloons inside many shallow water fish, allowing them to float effortlessly without expending much energy. However, in the crushing depths of the midnight zone, which lies about 656 to over 9,800 feet below the ocean's surface, swim bladders would be a liability. At such extreme pressures, any gas within a swim bladder would either collapse entirely or demand so much energy to maintain stability that it would outweigh any benefit. To survive in the deep and crushing darkness of the ocean's midnight zone, the anglerfish has adapted in unique ways. Rather than relying on a gas-filled swim bladder like many shallower water fish, the anglerfish uses a clever combination of heavy bones and fatty tissues to stay balanced in the water. This unique build allows it to drift effortlessly without worrying about floating upward, even after a large meal or when venturing to slightly shallower waters. With no swim bladder, it avoids the danger of gas expanding under less pressure, which could make it uncontrollably rise like a balloon. Next, we move on to the reproduction process, which, much like its other traits, is astonishingly unique. Unlike most fish that lay clusters of eggs, this organism produces an extraordinary floating sheet made of jelly-like mucus. This massive veil is not a simple bundle, but a vast, organized structure containing thousands, and in some cases, over 1 million tiny eggs arranged in a single delicate layer. These straight sheets, which can stretch up to 3 feet wide and several feet long, are built to drift quietly through the dark, open ocean. This unique strategy is unlike anything you'd expect. And it's just the start of something much stranger, egg fertilization. For this process, the tiny male anglerfish steps into the picture. Sometimes the male is already attached to her body like a living parasite, or he may swim nearby. When the female releases the egg sheet into the water, the male releases his sperm, which immediately finds its way into the jelly to fertilize the eggs. The egg sheet is able to float because it's light and buoyant, which helps it stay on the surface of the water. This gives the eggs plenty of room to grow and keeps them safe as they develop. Once the eggs are fertilized, the jelly sheet becomes a safe haven for the developing embryos. The thick, clear mucus shields them from predators and harsh ocean conditions while they grow inside. When the time comes, the tiny larvae hatch and rise toward the ocean's surface. Here they feed on plankton as they continue to grow. But even in this early stage, their life is far from ordinary. Soon they begin their descent back into the pitch-black depths, where they'll undergo a final transformation and take on their adult form. The whole process is unlike anything we see in most other creatures. So which of these deep-sea anglerfish facts excites you the most? And do you have other creatures you believe have qualities and characters that are beyond normal? Feel free to share in the comments. Now leave a like if you've enjoyed the video, and make sure to subscribe to help support our channel. Thanks for watching. Goodbye for now.